So today we're talking about this animal, sort of, and we'll elaborate more on that in a minute. So if you didn't notice, this is an SD card. It's an SD Ultra. It's an XC1 64 gigabyte, rated at about 80 megabytes per second, which is pretty quick, and it should have no problem at all with USB transfer speeds, moving files back and forth. And the reason why I wanted to test this is because the old HP, when we upgraded the old HP, it was I believe an A6512P or something like that, that had a card reader and everything on the front, USB and FireWire, and it originally came with USB 1 and USB 2. Now, of course, it wasn't called USB 1 at the time, but it was just USB, then USB 2. But the original USB standard had 4 pins. And it was a 5-pin connector, but only used 4 pins. And that's what all the card readers and everything on the front are connected to. But then the upgrade was to a 9-pin connector for USB 2. And that's what the other ones on the front panel are connected to. Now, those headers on the motherboard, you can kind of see there was the one 5-pin connector and then the 9-pin connector, and they were on the same board on the old HP. But when we replaced that motherboard with new stuff, we now have a situation where we're using some of the 4-pin connectors in one of the USB 2 ports, but only using 4 pins. And then we're using USB 2, but we also have USB 3 that is on the back panel. So I thought, what better way to check this than to go ahead and try it with an SD card to find out how different the speeds were, or what the convenience would be if I took this computer on the road and had to do some file transfers of stuff like SD cards out of a camera. The only problem is the SD card I use in my camera right now is a micro SD. And I don't have that computer set up yet with OBS or with a video capture system where I can, record that and do it at the same time. So I had to use the next best thing, and that was this one. It shouldn't cause any problems, shouldn't have caused any problems. Spoiler alert, didn't really cause any problems, but there were some oddities that we'll kind of explain. Now, in this case, we've got everything hooked up now where on the front panel, all the card readers are in the original USB format. All the connectors on the front, the USB connectors on the front are 2.0, and the connectors on the back are 3.0, 3.1, 3.2, what have you, still USB 3. So to do this, what I did is I went ahead and used the card itself in the original card reader, and we went ahead and tested from a 2 gigabyte file from a previous video on the desktop. We moved it onto the SD card, and then we moved it back to see what would happen. Now, writing to the SD card, about 18 megabytes per second. Not too bad. That's about what I expected. Quite honestly, I expected more in the 5 to 12 range, and to get 18 or 19 megabytes per second wasn't too bad. I was okay with that. Is it enough long term if I have large files? Maybe not. It takes about a minute and a half to move a 2 gig file. Now, something I noticed when it was trying to write back to the desktop file. Now, it must have kept something in the cache or something on the clipboard, because it very quickly transferred most of it. But then again, when it went to go write back, it was at about that same speed, about that 18 or 19 megabytes per second. So then we went ahead and tested the 2.0. Now, to do this, I'd have to have a card reader. Just a regular USB card reader. It is on USB 3.0, but obviously it'll work on 2.0. And so I plugged that in and tested again. Same deal. Desktop file to the SD card back to the desktop file. Now this time I got about 28 or 29 megabytes per second, and that was pretty consistent. It did just under 30, and it stayed there. So I was getting, roughly a 50% improvement over the previous just regular card reader, which I thought was pretty decent. And that was pretty consistent. That should have been about right. However, when I went back to write from the SD card back to the desktop file, again, we ended up having that weird, I guess it was buffer or something on the clipboard. But when it tried to write back from the SD card back to the desktop, again, it went down to that 18 or 19 megabytes per second. So it wrote back at the same speed as the original USB, which I thought was a little odd. So then I went ahead, and the final test was to go ahead and take it from the USB 3 on the back panel of the computer. And so we did that. Now, I did get significantly better, but not what I thought I was going to get, because after all, this is rated at 80 megabytes, and USB 3 standard is pretty chunky. It's up around 100, I believe, or something like that. It's 5 times faster than USB 2. So I should have been able to have at least 80 megabytes per second transfer. And I was getting about half that. Now, still a vast improvement over just the regular SD card. And it's okay, it'll work, but not what I was getting off of a thumb drive, by the way, when I was transferring. So I think it might be something with a limitation in this SD card, even though it says it should run faster. Regardless, when I tried to go right back from the SD card to the desktop, after, again, whatever was on the clipboard tried to paste back, it again dropped down to about USB speeds, just regular USB. So I did think that was weird, and I might have to do some more investigating with, say, just thumb drives or something like that to find out what the differences are, or how that compares. But as far as just comparing from like camera cards out of a camera or something, the USB 3 is much quicker, and I think that's what I'll probably use. But there was some convenience to be had, or I think there's some convenience to be had out of using off the front panel. Now, it takes about a minute and a half for that 2 gig file to write from USB, and it takes closer to 45 seconds to 50 seconds for it to write from the USB 3.0. So I have to figure out which one's more convenient, or which one I feel like playing around with or messing with, because I can't really stick a thumb drive into my camera. It has to be SD card. So what does all this mean in the grand scheme of things? Nothing. Not really. I was just kind of curious, and I thought I'd share that curiosity and that experiment with you guys, because I was trying to figure out exactly what the biggest difference was, or the convenience factor of going from USB 1 on the card reader to USB 3 using an adapter or something like this on the back. And I think I'm better off using something like this, even though it's not as convenient as just plugging it in and playing. For smaller files, maybe I still will use the front panel, but for larger files, yeah, I'll probably use something like this. Incidentally, when I transfer files from this, the micro SD card onto this computer for editing, it operates much, much quicker, and you can see that. Also, the same thing with the thumb drive. So like I said, there's probably more experimentation that needs to go on. I probably need to hook up some kind of video capture so I can find that out and do a little bit more of experimenting. But it was a curiosity, and now I thought maybe some of that would be solved, but no, it's just a bigger can of worms. So we might have to visit it again. But anyway, purpose of this video, as it turns out, next to nothing. And I apologize if you think it's that way, but if you did like the video or found it entertaining, go ahead and throw a thumbs up on it. If you didn't, you can thumbs down, but tell me why, and let me know what I did so I can do better next time. And don't be afraid to visit me on the other socials. If you're not already subscribed, please do. I'm really, really trying to hit 500 by the end of the year so I can get on some of the affiliate programs, and so I can start earning a little bit of money if I lead you guys to things that you end up buying, help everybody out in the long run. But to do that, I need to get 500, at least 500 subscribers, and I'm a little bit far away from that. So thanks again for watching. I appreciate it, and until next time, folks, I still got video cards and all that stuff looking at. I noticed that 1660 gets really, really hot inside that case. Not where it's underperforming, or not where it has to scale back or cut back because of temperatures, but when I put my hand on the outside of the case, it is very, very warm to the touch. So I'm not sure I like that, and I might end up going with the 1650 Super. But to do that, I kind of want to compare the two of them and see how it goes. So anyway, that's all I got for right now. So until the next time, folks, I'll see you later.